Welcome to the Commissioned Life, where faith meets everyday life. We're a husband and wife who believe that living the Great Commission starts right where you are. In your marriage, your work, and your community, every moment is a chance to live on mission. This is the Commissioned Life podcast. Let's step into the mission together.
And we're back with another episode of the Commissioned Life podcast.
Yes, that's what we're doing.
I have to add that in.
That's what we're doing
because that's
here.
part of the email.
Yeah.
The Commissioned Life podcast at gmail.com.
Mhm.
Right.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
I'm Meagan. Or Meg. Whatever.
Hi, Hungry. I'm Dad.
What are we talking about today, Michael?
We are talking about parenting.
On mission.
Yeah.
Parenting on mission. Raising children to know and follow Jesus. Parenting with a mission.
Yeah, parenting's
Raising
hard.
our kids to know and love and follow Jesus.
Yeah.
Without a manual. Well, we got the Bible.
I was going to say we have our built-in manual.
Yeah. What's that?
What's that?
What's our built-in manual?
Bible.
The Bible. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah,
Discernment.
Discernment, yeah.
Yeah.
Listening to God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure you follow it and listen.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else? We're done. We're parenting a mission.
Oh
That's
my
it.
gosh.
See you later.
We're gonna
Quickest
talk.
episode ever.
Oh my gosh. We're gonna talk about parenting with intentionality. Michael loves that word, intentionality, but
Yeah.
not only parenting with intentionality, but with an eternal mindset.
Right. Right. Because you're gathering up treasures in heaven and not here.
No.
Doing good things here.
Yeah, we want to make heaven crowded. That's what we're doing here. So I feel like a lot of this is going to be a lot of me talking. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's pretty much on par.
I do talk a lot.
Yeah.
But I do
It's a good balance.
I do a lot of the child rearing. So
yeah.
I do the bulk of it, being at home with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That's
hop in
okay.
the driver's seat when you get home.
Yeah.
But
I'm a human taxi. At night, you're the taxi
At
during
night.
the day.
I still taxi at night too.
Sometimes. Yeah.
With cheer.
Oh, true. Because then we have to split up sometimes at night and do our thing.
Yeah.
Just 15 years.
15 years. Riley will be 25. She's 10.
Yeah, she better be out by then.
Oh my gosh. I think it's important to point out that God's design for parents as disciple makers, and talk a little bit about what the Bible says, what that should look like. So we have a couple of verses that we are kind of going to be grounded in today to really show what is outlined for us here as parents, what God intended us to do with raising our kiddos.
Yep. And I'm going to start out by saying that this isn't about being perfect parents.
Yeah.
It's just about being intentional.
Yes.
Intentional, God-following, God-fearing parents.
Well, like I said, intentional
Yeah.
parenting with an eternal mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a better way to say it. But nobody's perfect except Jesus. Anyways, we'll start with Deuteronomy 6, verses
6, 7.
That was totally planned.
Sort of.
Yeah. These commandments that I give you today are to be on your heart. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home, when you walk along the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. Talk about it always.
I think that's when memory verses are so important, then they come into play. Having some of that scripture tucked away in your heart to pull out in a moment's notice.
Be a diehard fan.
Yeah.
There are some people that yell at the TV for football, and some people that praise Jesus publicly.
Yeah.
Be one of those guys
I
or
dig it.
girls.
The next
Go Bills.
verse. Oh my gosh. You can say that because they didn't play it this weekend.
No, they played Thursday, and they did not play great.
Correct. Yes.
That's okay.
The next verse is Proverbs 22, verse 6. And it
You
says,
said
no, I just said 6.
I know.
Michael, I just said 6. start children off in the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it. I love this verse. This actually is a verse that I lean heavily on, because one of the things that I regularly am actively having to hand over to God is my incessant need to control. It happens without me even thinking about it most days. And especially with Riley, being that we are a household of believers raising the children in truth. And her dad, although good person, not saved yet, he is not filling her with truth. He fills her with nice things. But I have moments where she'll come home and she'll tell me, oh, well, I talked to Dad about religion, and he says that everybody has their own religion, and that's their choice, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great to a world perspective, but we know there's only one true God. So in the very beginning, I had a really hard time with letting go of that control specific to Riley, because she was being poured into in two different households that held truth to two different levels. And God was very gentle and gracious with me when he reminded me that he loves her more than I do. And he gave me this verse and shared with me that it is not our responsibility as parents. It's not my responsibility as Riley's parent to make her have a relationship with Jesus. Right. It's our job as parents to point her to Jesus. And then one day she will become responsible for having her relationship with Jesus. So I think this is a very sobering verse for someone like myself who really struggles with control.
And it's good to point out that we did correct, and you did say it. It's not religion, it's relationship.
Yep. I'm not a religious person. Yeah. I have a relationship with Jesus. Yeah.
Right. So then the last verse is Matthew 19, verse 14. And that says, Jesus said, let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these.
I love that.
That's it.
That's
Be childlike.
Be childlike.
I'm already there.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Most times.
And don't stop the children from coming to Jesus.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There's no junior Holy Spirit, is that it?
Yeah, there's no junior Holy Spirit. But I think it's important to point out that parenting is a calling, not just a responsibility. Yeah. And we are called to make disciples of our children.
Listen, I had no intention on even having children.
Right.
Until I met you.
Right. Yes, that is true.
So I was very ill-equipped.
Well, I feel like we all are ill-equipped.
So I came into this relationship, and you already had a 2-year-old. Well, she was 1.5. And then you went on your deployment and left me by myself.
Left you.
With yeah. Okay. I did mine a long time ago. But you left me with essentially a 2-year-old.
She was 2.5, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she was. That's right. And then I was very ill-equipped and just hoping for the best. And I wasn't saved at the time. I just knew the stories because I grew up Roman Catholic. And just I'm like, just please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. Your mother's going to be pissed.
To say the least.
And she's fine. She's 10 now.
Yeah, she's great.
She's good.
No, yes, she is. I was more referencing the deployment because there were moments.
Yeah, there were moments.
There were moments. But we got through it, and you're right. She's alive. You did
That's
it.
Right.
Good job.
Yes.
Yay, Mike.
No, yeah, God.
Yay, God. Yes.
Mike just barely made it through. I had to remodel the bathroom.
You didn't have to.
No, I kind of did.
I asked you to put a tub in.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that just led to more things.
Right. So you didn't have to.
We have a new tub. Oh, gosh. Well, I don't have any more flooring to match up to the tub, so I guess
you just have to gut the whole bathroom at midnight.
I had to put a new floor in which case I had to take the toilet and the vanity out. And then the vanity didn't match the floor.
So I had to get a new vanity.
Right.
I let the records be straight that I asked for Michael to put in a tub while I was deployed, and that was it.
Yeah, I did that too.
You did that, yes.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things when it comes to parenting on mission is shifting that mindset from behavior management to discipleship. Because as parents, moments of discipleship pop up at such inconvenient times when you're shopping in the store and you're in a rush, or at the doctor's office, or you're trying to get out the door and a fight breaks out because Amelia's wearing Isaiah's hat. Yeah.
There's brawls.
Sometimes. Sometimes. But having that perspective of we're not managing behavior, we're shaping hearts. We're shaping the hearts of our children who will one day go and be disciple makers themselves. I like that saying, connect, then correct, and understanding that connecting with the child is going to be first and foremost, and then correcting. And that's the disciple process, right? If you're discipling a friend, they're a new believer. You're not going to You're not going to
hand them.
No.
And then you correct them.
No, you're not gonna hit them over the head with the Bible first. No, you're gonna connect with them. You're gonna create a relationship with them. So then, when heart issues come up, you have a trusted relationship, and that way you can address those harder things together with a friend rather than just this transactional. Oh no, you sinned again, and I'm calling you. Yes, exactly. We're not knife handing the children. We're not knife handing our friends. We have to look at discipling our children in the same way that we would look at discipling another adult.
I don't know. A fellow veteran could get a nice kick out of a knife hand.
Oh my gosh. But we're talking about the children. We're parenting on mission. Stay focused.
That's right. Yeah.
I was actually going to say, why don't you talk about some of the earlier stuff, especially those times when we were not saved and just kind of parenting on our own and not allowing God to guide the discipleship.
So there were a lot of times where we just kind of skated by and we didn't really think anything of it. We had Santa Claus, we had the Easter Bunny, we had, and this is all with just Riley at the time. We celebrated Halloween, the whole nine, and we just did it because that's what we always did. Mm-hmm. How do you screw up if this is just what we do anyways?
Right. We turned out mostly okay.
Yeah, mostly. But we didn't know any better because we didn't think about it. Now we think about it, and the outlook's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. We have changed some traditions, made new traditions, and I think we're going to be better off for it. I don't know. No.
No, I think it's important to point out that all of those changes that we made as parents weren't choices that we made. It was a slow sanctification process that God walked us through. It was one tradition.
Yeah, it wasn't all like, all right, we're Christians now. We're done with all the devil worship. Like, we still had to understand what that even meant.
Right. And we have Christian friends who still do Santa, and that's okay. Yeah. And
it goes all the way, even down to the music that you listen to. Yeah. I have Riley in the car and we're listening to Godsmack or Slipknot or literally any of the things that I used to listen to. Mm-hmm. But you driving most of the time in our time now, we drive the kids somewhere, whether it's to a doctor's appointment with one of the twins or doctor's dental, whatever appointment with the bigger ones, or cheer or baseball or this or that but everything. Mm-hmm. So we do spend a lot of time in the car. So it's just that constant reminder of hearing something that's okay and not trash. Mm-hmm. It's a mindset thing. Yeah. If you're listening to hard rock and screaming, you're going to be in that similar mindset. But if you're hearing Jesus worship and, God worship music all day, it just tends to put you in a better mood. Yeah. And then the kids, see that too, which is good.
Yeah. I heard a saying once, what you pour in pours out.
Oh yeah. It's the same thing with like at work, garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. Put garbage into the system. You can't expect anything but garbage.
Yeah. It's been a really interesting journey watching God walk our family through changing of traditions and how he has slowly navigated us through that. But some of the moments, probably the biggest heart change for me is when God shifted us to a homeschooling family. That was probably, for me, that was probably the biggest shift. And I even did it. God
I
met
thought you
me.
were crazy.
I was really feeling a strong pull from God that he wanted me to homeschool. And he met me where I was at. I wasn't prepared in that moment to not be working. So he met me where I was at, and I worked part-time for a little bit. I worked 2 days and was homeschooling 3 days. And then last year, God was just like, it is time for you to go home full time. And that was really hard for me because I love my work. I went to, I have a graduate degree in social work. I had my own private practice. I loved helping people. I loved being able to walk believers and non-believers alike. And I had clients who were not saved and didn't believe in God that have since come to know and love and choose to follow Jesus. And I love that I got to be a small part of that journey to see it happen in real time. Super cool. But God shaped my heart in that season because I didn't realize prior to homeschooling that my identity was found in my work. It wasn't actually found in God. So these moments of parenting where he's transitioning me to go home and, okay, I'm leaning more. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm going to homeschool my kids. My main ministry is going to be pouring into my children. I did not in the moment realize how much God would use that parenting shift for me to help shape my heart, because I didn't even realize I had an identity issue. I was just, I love Jesus. He's in my heart. He fills me. He leads me. I listen to him. And one day he was like, you find your identity in your work and we got to get over that. And I was like, ooh, he like opened that. Beth Miller talks about that spotlight. Yeah. He widened my spotlight when we homeschooled. Yeah. So that was probably one of the most incredible heart shifts from my parenting journey that God has ever done for me, is showing me where my identity was and guiding me to where he wanted it to be.
Right. And for me, on that part of it was difficult because it was really difficult for me. One, it was difficult on two different sides of the coin here, because one, I didn't really want you to work.
Right.
You started going to school back in 2019. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. I say it all the time. Hindsight's 2020. Mm-hmm. You get to see all your God moments looking back on your life. And God literally provided the entire time I had my business going.
He did, because he called me to quit my job and go to school full time, and you to open your own business.
Right. Mm-hmm. You stopped working in the military, got out, and you went to school full time, went full time with the business, and God just continued to provide for us.
Well, we were saved at that time. We just weren't tuned in.
But I had a temper. I still do sometimes, but really, God has helped me with my temper through parenting. Mm-hmm. He's giving me tons of opportunities to practice. Not tons. The kids are really good, but there are some opportunities that he gives me to practice.
Even when kids are just being kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And the anxiety sometimes doesn't stop. I'm deathly afraid that one of the kids is going to break an arm or something right after I tell them not to do something. It's going to be like, yeah. But,
probably.
Right. Still don't want it to happen. But the patience has been a big thing. Mm-hmm. It's opened up a lot of blind spots that I didn't even know I had because I never parented before. And the more kids we get, the more blind spots I see that I have. Mm-hmm. And then, and we have, and then we fix them. And then there's more, and then we fix them, and then we get into a rhythm, and that's not always the worst thing.
Mm-mm. Well, that's a very down and dirty version. We don't fix them. Well, we identify them And then we're like, okay, God, we need you to help us fix
How do we
this.
do this?
Yeah, help us fix it, please. And then, yeah, or even not even that we identify them as much as like God makes us aware.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
like, hey, here's another hole. I'm going to help you fix it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then adding in the twins. So for, the 8 years, 7.5 years, we were married, having the 3 children. And then 7.5 years in, God we always knew we would foster children, but it was really a matter of when God called us to do that. And the twins that we have now in our care just were God placed on our radar. And it was probably more emotionally overwhelming for me than it was for you.
Yeah. So we're going to rewind just a little bit. We got married. We had Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
We had Amelia. And I'm like, we always talked about having maybe one more.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the old snippety snip. And I'm like, no, we're done. And she kept saying, well, if God says that we're going to have another one.
I did
and
say
I was
that.
like, nope.
I always said
Nope,
if God wants
nope.
us to have more children, he does not care about your vasectomy.
Yeah, nope. I'm going to go get tested twice a week.
Make sure
joking.
that stuff is still sticking. And then the twins came on our radar.
And then we had talked about fostering.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously talked about it a couple of years back.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wasn't the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we stopped the application, the whole 9, and decided to work more on our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just happened, and you had mentioned something about it. And I was just like, well, they're going to need somewhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
We got the space,
Mm-hmm.
which I look back at now and I'm like, that actually came out of my mouth. I mean, I'm super duper happy it's happened.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
it's been quite the journey. But
it was super interesting the way that panned out, right? Not to get in too many details, but one of our good friends reached out to us, Stacy, and said, hey, do you know anybody? She wasn't even asking us. She said, do you
Right.
know anybody? And Mike and I had already started we're going to start this process again conversation.
Right.
But we hadn't started anything. It was just, we're going to start. We started looking into agencies again because the initial agency that we were going to foster with a few years ago closed and changed. And I don't know. And then Stacy called us with this situation, and I don't even know what I do know. It was God. But while she was talking to me, it was, you need to call and talk to Mike. And my thought was like, okay, well, maybe Mike knows somebody at work who's a foster certified family, because it wasn't us. And Mike's first reaction was, well, do we need to take these kids in? And I was like, I don't know. I was very taken aback by it because it did come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And I am the spontaneous, like, okay, these kids need a home. Like, let's do. And you're very much the like, hold on.
Yeah. Oh, you want to build an addition on the house? You can do that in a weekend,
Yeah,
right?
exactly that.
Yeah.
That's me.
Oh, it sure is.
That's me. So to have that come out of your mouth, it was very like, I'm on the phone with Michael. Who did I just call? So it was very interesting. And little did we know how much, especially in the beginning, I think we've kind of leveled out now, but especially in the beginning, how much stretching there would be specifically for me. And managing twin B has some pretty significant medical needs. She's what they call medically fragile. However, God has been moving incredible ways in her little body.
Yep.
But managing her machines was very overwhelming. And when I considered fostering as a therapeutic home, I knew we would get extra needs.
Which we didn't even know any of this until really we met Twin B.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. And we knew that there was medical needs, but we
Yeah.
didn't know the extent of
Right.
it. And even when we brought her home, the machines that she had in the hospital were so incredibly different than the machines that we got at home. When we were in the hospital, we were free to pick her up, move her around. We would walk her over to the window and show her outside. We would go visit the nurse's station. And at home, if you lift her higher than the foolproof air filter, blood comes back through her central line. And if you move the air filter too much, air goes past the foolproof air filter. So that in itself, too, we were not anticipating because we had an experience with her at the hospital. And then when we got home, the experience with her at home was vastly different.
Yep.
So that was a huge thing that we were not anticipating either.
And it's a different style of parenting also, because twin A is just like any other regular baby.
Yeah, seemingly healthy.
No strings attached. And we can play with her and just do the whole nine. I can bring her up into like a little airplane and she loves that. And then twin B, we can't do that with most of the day, 90% of the day. The nice thing is there's a couple hours at night where we can't.
Or she's totally disconnected.
For a
solid 2 hours. She has nothing attached to her.
Right, and it's literally only 2 hours.
Only, yes.
But it's cool because we actually can play with her like a regular, no strings attached baby.
Yeah.
And she loves it.
Yeah.
She, even when we're able to do what we're able to do with her without her, like with her cords on, it's she obviously enjoys it too, and she's getting stronger.
Yes, and heavier. She's gaining weight and doing all the things.
Doing the whole nine.
So despite this season stretching,
Yeah.
especially when it came to the machines with me, I think my favorite part was being able to see God's faithfulness and his strength through all of this. It's so hard to not see God's character in this season because without God, so many people will say to me, I don't know how you guys do it. Literally God.
Yeah.
Literally God sustains us every
Right.
single day.
Well, the other half of that is the strain that it put on our marriage. Like we used to be able to go out and do a date night.
Correct.
And have somebody watch the kids or whatever the case may be. Now we literally only have one friend that can watch the kids because she's a nurse.
Correct. And she's trained on
and she
Twin
can-
Bees machines.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So we really haven't been able to go out and do anything together, mostly separate, or we just bring the kids with us.
Right.
So it is what it is. But,
Yeah.
just instead of us looking at the struggles, we're looking at the high points and what God's doing and all of that. And that's where we're able to be okay
Yeah.
and not feel like we're so stretched thin or so distant that we end up in a rough season.
Yeah. Because God has still been faithful to give us moments to be able to connect. And I think this was a great opportunity because we have some really great conversations on here when we record our podcast. That is also that quality time.
Yeah.
So I think
It's pretty late, but
it's still quality time.
We still do it live.
Yeah. You started every time. You had started to touch on how it's parenting differently with the babies, but for like the bigger kiddos and us parenting them in a means of pointing them to Jesus, it's so important to understand their individual needs.
Yeah.
So for like Riley, we are doing an apologetic study together. That's how we start our school day, is in the Word or some kind of devotional. And Riley, ours is an apologetic study because I think at 10, she's at a pivotal age to learn how to defend her faith at this moment in her life. So we're doing an apologetic study. I'm not doing that with a 4 and 5-year-old. Our studies are very different and building God's truth and teaching them God's character and much more, not surface level is a bad word because nothing with God is surface level, but much more surface level. I'm not digging into the weeds.
Elementary.
Yes, thank you. Elementary
Break it down
level.
Barney style.
Correct, yes. So understanding that each kiddo is an individual and pointing them to God in their own means. So it seems as though right now, Riley really connects with God when she can sit and write and sit and journal and just kind of freehand, which is very funny because that's similar to myself. But who knows with Isaiah and Amelia, what their muse is going to be able to connect with God, because some people do it through nature, some people do it through music. Understanding that each kid is an individual is important, and parenting to each kiddo as an individual. What works for Riley may not work for Isaiah
Right.
and may not work for Amelia.
That's the interesting part, because that's hard to hone in on,
Yeah.
because they're so young. Do they really understand what they're listening for, or hearing for? You can say it out loud, 10 times, but do they really grasp it?
Yeah.
You just never know until
Right. But building that Christ-centered home, though, that's the important part, is just making the children aware that Jesus is the center of our family.
Yep.
And God has given me the opportunity to see some really sweet moments. I know I told you about this one the other night. I was upstairs putting clothes away in Amelia's room, and Isaiah and Amelia were playing with Amelia's little people houses, and they were just putting it together. And Isaiah was telling Amelia, just trust me, Amelia, this is going to work. And Amelia's like, I don't trust you. And like her little sassy self, I don't trust you. And Isaiah's like, but you should trust me because I have Jesus in me. And if you want to obey Jesus, and if Jesus is within me, he's guiding me. So you should trust me. Now that's a little bit manipulative, but he's 5. So we're going to let him have the moment for a minute. Okay, guys. Because he wasn't trying to be manipulative, but it was just so sweet. And he said to Amelia, do you trust God? And Amelia was like, yeah, I trust God. And Isaiah was like, well, Jesus is inside me, so you can trust me. And I was just sitting there. I chose not to say anything in the moment of like, Isaiah, don't manipulate your sister. I chose to just listen and soak in this moment that God was giving me the opportunity to witness. It was just such a sweet moment for God to be like, hey, I just want to give you a little reminder that the days that you feel like the heavy days, and the days that things feel like you could have done better, and all the ways that you're going to process through that night of all the ways you could have parented better, I want you to hold on to this moment and listen to your son disciple his younger sister.
Yeah.
And just having that reminder of, okay, like Mike said, we're not perfect.
Really close.
Yeah, really close, of course.
Yeah.
We're not perfect. We're not going to get it right every single day. But the moments we do get right, make them meaningful and impactful.
Yeah.
And just really allow the children to see that God is the center of our family. And how do we do that? What are some things that we do in our household that really show the children?
Well, they see us reading the Bible. Well, those who want to come down and be tucked in 27 times.
Riley.
Like, she sees us reading in the Bible every single night. And she's even made comments like, oh, it's annoying. They read in the Bible every single night.
Parenting win.
Yeah, right. That we do some devotionals at dinner time. I know you guys start out with Bible stuff for school.
Yep, that's how we start our school day.
And then again, because we drive so often, they either hear the worship music in the car or we have some conversation in the car.
Yeah.
I remember, 2 months ago, I think I did it, was teaching in middle school and was teaching on Noah and his journey, his long journey of building a boat.
Just a few years.
But I wanted to walk it out before I went and taught. So I think it was a Thursday night, and we were driving to cheer, and I go, Riley, I'm just gonna talk to you real quick. Just put your phone down, put all that, and I'm gonna just run through something. Oh, okay, sounds good. So she's listening, and I'm going through the whole thing. Well, by the time we get to cheer, I shorten it up just a little bit. I go, so what'd you think? And she goes, I thought it was really good. I go, well, what'd you like about it? Well, you told me how long it took Noah to build the boat and why he built the boat and all the things he brought on the boat. Now, mind you, we did go to the Ark last year, and that was phenomenal.
Yes.
10 out of 10 recommend.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. But she was like, oh, this is really good. I was like, oh, this is what I'm teaching in middle school. And she's like, you are? Oh, they're going to really like that. And I was like, cool. Cool. So it's like it's just those little moments where we get to talk and just make it part of everyday language.
Yeah. And we have our structured and unstructured prayer time.
Yeah. Yeah. So the kids get hurt, of course,
Because they're kids.
because they're kids. Yeah. And whatever it is, scrape knee, it doesn't matter. Somebody bonked their head, fell off the bed because they were screwing around, and they'll come down and like, oh, Amelia will be like, oh, it hurts so bad, my skin knee, I'm bleeding, I need Band-Aids. Like, no, you don't, you're fine, you're not even bleeding, it's just red. And oh, do you want dad to kiss it? Do you want mama to kiss it? No. What do you want me to do then? Yeah, can you pray over it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yep.
Like, let's do that. So now this has become the normal thing.
Yep.
Somebody gets hurt, wah, come up.
Pray over it.
Can we pray over it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we're all better. Then we're back to doing the exact same thing that caused this in the first place.
Yeah. But having that's more of that unstructured prayer time where someone's got hurt, we're laying hands, we're praying over the boo-boo, and then we're thanking God for healing it and taking the pain away.
All right, we're going to pause right here.
Yeah, this is getting to be a very long episode.
Yeah, we're going to break this up into 2 weeks.
Yeah.
One partially because it's long, the second because it is Thanksgiving week. Yeah. And we have family coming over, and we're going to family, and we have a very busy week going on this week.
And it's important. I don't want to cut too much content because parenting on mission is a very important topic when we talk about the Great Commission, because if you have kids, whether you're working or not working, you're parenting those kids. So,
and we realize that nobody's going to sit here for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So we'll bust it up into about 2 45-minute sessions.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Yeah. So teaser for next week's episode. Tune in next week for part 2 of parenting on mission. Otherwise, you're only going to get half of this, and it's good, but it's not quite done yet. So make sure you tune in.
You're only half as good.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to tune in next week for part 2.
Yeah. All right. See you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for tuning in to the Commissioned Life podcast. Our prayer is that today's conversation helps you see your everyday life as part of God's bigger mission. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend and keep living on mission right where you are. Until next time, this is the Commissioned Life.